morning. And Systems Logistic Park at K2 Ejere in Ekpe pledges support for food sufficiency. Inspector General of Police launches comprehensive investigation into boat mishap in Kogi State. And on the foreign scene, Georgia's president announces retirement of office ahead new parliamentary elections. And in sport, Atlanta coach hails Super Eagles forward Ademola Lookman for club's growth. Now the news in details. I am Timmy Dayo. Anthony. The Lagos State Governor, Babajide Sanwo-Olu, has expressed his administration's dedication to making the state self-sufficient in the area of food security and logistics. Governor Sanwo-Olu made this known when he led members of the Executive Council on an inspection tour of the Lagos Food Central Security System Logistics Park at K2 Ejere in Ekpe area of the state. Governor Sanwo-Olu explained that the vision for the logistic park, which was conceptualized 3 years ago, is sited on over 200 hectares of land, with the first phase ready for operations in the second quarter of 2025. According to the governor, the Dioro Food Hub and 4 others currently under construction in Aja, Agege, Oregon, and Ikorodu will feed from a food central system and logistics park, which will reduce food prices and ensure easy movement of food items and farm produce.
What we're about is we're writing our destiny gradually into our hands. We want Lagosians, we want the citizens of Lagos to have the ability to have what we call food sufficiency, food adequacy. And what it will do for us is that it will help us be able to stabilize the prices so that prices will not skyrocket unnecessarily.
Earlier, project manager Samuel explains that the project, which is based on public-private partnership, will transform the area with facilities that will transform and bring sanity to the red meat value chain, dry and wet food storages, logistics, among others. The Lagos State government has confirmed that the State Mental Health Institute and Psychiatric Rehabilitation Center in K2 Ejere, Ekpe, will be operational in the next 12 months. Governor Sanwo-Olu stated this during an inspection tour of the project, which is being handled by the Ministries of Health and Work and Infrastructure. The governor explained that the facility, which is the biggest in sub-Saharan Africa, with a first phase of 500 bed space, living quarters, consultation rooms, among others, is sited on 25 hectares of land. Governor Sanwo-Olu noted that the facility demonstrates the present administration's commitment to the overall wellness of Lagosians.
We believe that this aspect of health delivery is equally important. We believe that we have seen enough health challenges in terms of mental health issues, and we need to, make a classic case, of this and make sure that it's first in class, the best that people can come in, come for psychotherapy, psycho-rehabilitation, and get well in a serene and in a very decent environment.
That was Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu during an inspection tour of the Lagos State Mental Health Institute and Psychiatric Rehabilitation Center in K2 Ejere, Ekpe. Citizens have been advised to stop stigmatizing people living with the Parkinson disease. Founder Parkinson Africa, Omotola Thomas, said this during the Walking Football and Parkinson's Disease Tournament 2024. Thomas noted that the foundation supports and empowers victims of the disease through the education and access to medication. She noted that the Walking Football Tournament also assists patients in building their mental capacity.
So we work with different organizations across Africa. We have support groups, we have educational, webinars. We work with different local organizations, about particularly in April, which is World Parkinson's Day. We support and sponsor local organizations with Parkinson's awareness campaigns.
On his part, Acting Executive Director Adewumi Desalu Parkinson's Foundation, John Akinola, said the foundation noted that the working football from the Western countries so as to incorporate exercise as a means of therapy for Parkinson's patients.
We are growing. Last year we had, I think, 8 teams max, but this year we are having like 20 teams comprising of corporate organizations, and volunteers. So the word is spreading. A lot of people is getting aware about Parkinson's, and I believe that by next year we are going to be having like maybe 50 teams. Keep your life going. Don't let Parkinson's ground you.
Survivors who shared their testimony commended the convener of the event for the support. Parkinson's disease is a disorder of the central nervous system that affects movements and often includes tremors. Now to the rest of the story. The Inspector General of Police, IGP Kayode Egbetokun, has ordered an investigation into the boat mishap in Kogi State. Scores of persons were found dead in the accident that happened on Friday. Egbetokun said the aim of the comprehensive investigation is to identify contributing factors and develop actionable strategies to prevent similar occurrences on the nation's waterways. He said the investigation will also provide insight into providing the overall safety and emergency response system for water transport across the country. The IGP will console the families of the victims and Kogi people over the boat mishap, assures of the agency's resolve to ensure the swift response of missing passengers. The federal government has announced plans to launch the National Social Housing Fund, NSHF, in line with President Bola Tinubu's renewed hope agenda to ensure that all Nigerians, including the low and no income, vulnerable and underprivileged group, have access to decent and dignified accommodation. Minister of Housing and Urban Development, Ahmed Dangiwa, stated this at the annual conference and award ceremony of the Property and Environment Writers Association of Nigeria, PEGWAN. Dangiwa, who was represented by the Director of Press and Public Relations, Federal Ministry of Housing and Urban Development, Salisu Aiba, said the ministry is completing both a memo to the Federal Executive Council, FEC, and executive bill to the National Assembly for creation of the NSHF. The minister said potential sources of funding to this effect, including budgetary provision, donations from philanthropic organizations, corporate social responsibility, and voluntary donation from Nigerians.
We are leveraging ministry agency contributions. Here, the Federal Mortgage Bank of Nigeria is also providing low-cost funding for the needy of cities to ensure lower price tax for housing units and target lower middle-income segments.
Highlighting other initiatives being undertaken by the ministry to bridge the gap in housing deficit in Nigeria. Dangiwa said the ministry currently has 14 active construction sites nationwide, with a total of over 10,000 housing units and the construction of 12 renewed hope estates comprising 250,000 units each across 12 states across geopolitical zones of the country, totaling 3,000 units. Dangiwa noted that the housing sector potential remains a driver of economic growth, adding that the feat is evident in job opportunities created by the renewed Hope Cities and Estate program. In his remarks, former President, Nigerian Institute of Building, Kunle Awobodu, who chaired the event, called for serious government intervention to bridge housing deficit.
People migrate from the villages to the city centers like Lagos, and therefore exert a lot of pressure on the infrastructure. But can we consider the empty houses they left in the villages or the towns? And ironically, even in the city, there are some empty houses that are quite disturbing.
Speaker, earlier on the theme of the event, resolving the financial and regulatory dilemma in achieving renewed hope agenda in housing, Chairperson, Property and Environment Rights Association of Nigeria, Okwe Chigezie Iruebo, lamented that the country has become entangled in issues of housing deficit in the real estate sector.
With increasing cost of building materials occasioned by high inflation, interest rates, and the excruciating impact of the economic policies of the present government on the citizens, home ownership has become an enormous challenge to many.
Highlight of the events was presentation of awards to some distinguished personalities and stakeholders in the real estate sector.
FM, moving Lagos forward.
And now to foreign news. Georgia's pro-Western president, Salome Zurabchivil, has announced that she will stay in post until new parliamentary elections are held, as protests continue over the government decision to put European Union accession negotiation on hold. She also said, with the opposition described the current parliament as illegitimate after allegations of fraud in the last month's election. She noted that she will retain a role as president despite the country's newly elected parliament saying it will choose a replacement on the 14th of December. Mass protests continue to erupt for a third consecutive night on Saturday in the capital of Busia. Also, riot police have been deployed across the country's parliament, the focal point of 3 nights of protest. And now to sport. Atlanta head coach Gian Gasperi has credited Super Eagles forward Ademola Lookman for the club rise in the past 2 years. The 27-year-old joined Dayo from RB Leipzig in 2022 after struggling to stamp his foot anywhere readily. Since Lookman joined the Bagoma-based side, they have reached the Coppa Italia final, won the UEFA Europa League, and played the UEFA Super Cup against Real Madrid. Gasperi said they are a point behind Serie A league leader Inter Milan. Now, just before we go, do not drive without valid driver's license. You can follow us on like all our social media platforms. X at Traffic Radio 961, Facebook Lagos Traffic Radio 961 FM, Instagram Lagos Traffic Radio 961. Subscribe and watch a news and program live on YouTube at Traffic Radio 961. You can also visit our website at www.trafficradio961. Now, did you know that the Sanwo-Olu administration launched Lag Ride with 1,000 units of sports utility vehicles? You can get more details on Lagos State Government website. To end the news, here are the highlights of the major stories. The Lagos State Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu has expressed his administration's dedication to make the state self-sufficient in the area of food security and logistics. The Inspector General of Police, Kayode Egbetokun, has ordered an investigation into the boat mishap in Kogi State. We also told you that Georgia's pro-Western president, Salome Zurabchivil, has announced that she will stay in post until new parliamentary elections are held, as protests continue over the government decision to put European Union accession negotiation on hold. And in sport, Atlanta head coach Gian Gasperini has credited Super Eagles forward Ademola Lookman for the club rise in the past 2 years. For contact with the newsroom, please send a message to info@trafficradio961.ng. That ends the news broadcast compiled by Zainab Adebeshi. I am Dayo Anthony. Many thanks for listening.